Do you ever wonder what's really happening when you start your car and drive off? It's more than just the rev of an engine or the journey to a destination. Each ignition is a spark that sets off a chain reaction, releasing an invisible threat into our atmosphere. Fuel emissions. These emissions, silent and unseen, are byproducts of the combustion process, expelled by not just our vehicles, but also by countless industries around the globe. They are the silent culprits behind air pollution and the relentless drivers of climate change. Imagine a world where every puff of exhaust contributes to a growing, invisible cloud. A cloud that hangs over our cities, seeping into our lungs and wrapping our planet in a warming embrace. It's a subtle and insidious process, one we often overlook in our daily routines. Every time you turn on your vehicle, you contribute to a global problem. But how severe is this issue, really? To truly grasp the severity of the fuel emissions problem, we need to dive into some hard-hitting statistics. Let's start with the fact that globally, we pump out an astonishing 36 billion tons of carbon dioxide into our atmosphere every year from burning fossil fuels. That's the equivalent weight of over 7 million blue whales, the largest animals on the planet. This figure has been rising steadily for the past 2 centuries and shows no sign of slowing down. These emissions are more than just hot air. They're a toxic cocktail that's poisoning our air and choking our planet. The World Health Organization estimates that air pollution kills 7 million people each year. That's more than the population of Hong Kong. And it's not just humans who suffer. Emissions are causing the planet to warm, threatening countless species with extinction and causing devastating weather patterns. Our oceans, the lungs of our planet, are suffering too. They absorb a quarter of all CO2 emissions, but at a heavy cost. The increased acidity is causing coral reefs to dissolve and shellfish to struggle to form their shells. And it's not just the creatures in far-flung corners of the world that are affected. Regardless of where you live, the impact of these emissions is felt. They're changing our seasons, increasing the frequency of extreme weather events, and threatening our food supply. Climate change is often talked about as a future problem, but the truth is it's happening now, and it's accelerating. The last 7 years have been the warmest on record. Sea levels are rising, ice caps are melting, and wildfires are becoming more common and more destructive. The impact of fuel emissions is far-reaching and insidious. It's not just about a hotter planet. It's about a less stable, less predictable, and less hospitable world. A world where the basics, clean air, safe drinking water, enough food, can no longer be taken for granted. These numbers are not just figures. They represent a looming threat to our planet and our future. But it's not all doom and gloom. There is power in action, and every one of us has a role to play. Imagine a world where the air you breathe is clean and the sky is a clear and vibrant blue. This isn't a futuristic utopia. It's a reality we can create by making conscious choices to reduce our fuel emissions. Let's start with transportation, a major contributor to global emissions. By opting for public transit over personal vehicles, we can significantly cut down on the carbon footprint. Think about it. A single bus can accommodate around 50 passengers, potentially replacing 50 cars on the road. That's 50 times less pollution. And if public transportation isn't your cup of tea, consider biking. It's not only a greener alternative, but also a fantastic way to stay fit and healthy. But what if you need to travel long distances? Well, that's where electric vehicles come into play. They produce zero tailpipe emissions. And with the advent of renewable energy, the emissions from electricity generation are also on the decline. In fact, as of 2023, electric vehicles were found to emit less than half the CO2 of a conventional car over their lifetime. That's a win for you and for the environment. And it's not just about the big changes. Small actions matter too. Carpooling, reducing air travel, or even just turning off your engine at a red light can make a difference. Remember, every action counts. Each time you choose to walk instead of drive or opt for a reusable bag over plastic, you're not just reducing emissions. You're sending a powerful message to the world that you care about our planet's future. Our actions today shape the world of tomorrow, and with every choice we make, we have the opportunity to create a healthier, greener, and more sustainable world. The choice is yours. Will you be part of the problem, or will you join the solution?